Hey, it is Sunday, August 13th. I did a walkthrough last week. There weren't a lot of visual updates to show, so I didn't go ahead and post that one. I'll combine that one with this one as far as what the updates have been like in the past couple of weeks. I'm standing at what will be the main entrance, so I'm going to flip it around. So basically, this is where, of course, people will enter, clients will enter the building. We do have a little box here that will be if it's after hours or something like that. If we need to buzz somebody in, that's going to be like where we can talk to them before they come in. So this is the vestibule. It'll be an enclosed room, so it'll provide a double barrier for pets as well. And we'll walk into reception. These cones that are laid out here are basically where kiosks will go. They'll be a little bit different than the existing ones, but not a whole lot different. And as we walk through, we're going to have separate seating areas. The cat area in here, and then the dog area over here. We were hoping they were going to get some of these windows in this week, but apparently that didn't happen. So maybe early this coming week we'll have the windows in on the side facing the parking lot. All the other windows, of course, have been in for a while. And walk through towards exam room area down here. Basically, the biggest visual things are just ductwork. So I'm going to pan around here to reception. You can see the ductwork in place. They still have to finish some of it. And as you can see, the ductwork kind of has to work around the plumbing and other things up there. So our ceiling heights have changed just based on how they can fit the ductwork in. So it's going to be, I think originally it was going to be 10 feet, then it was going to be 9 feet 6 inches. Now it's going to be, I think, closer to 9 feet in reception, just how everything fits in there. And as we're walking through treatment area here, I think a couple of weeks ago we had those pieces of sheet metal that were in the reception area. I didn't quite know what they went to, but they go to the islands. So we've got the islands framed in. There's 2 islands. They'll have the capacity for 3 tables each. We'll start with just 2 tables each. All the blocking's in place for the lights. And then we have blocking in place for the cord reels as well. That's something they did this week. So as we walk around, look up, we've got a number of different cord reels that have been installed with blocking. And kind of just pass through treatment area here, do a quick walk through. Not much going on over here except for duct work, which isn't really exciting. I think they're going to do electrical inspection on Monday. So hopefully once that's complete, they can start putting the drywall up. And as you can see, they still have some duct work to complete. Really not much else visual to show this week. So we walk through, and this would be, of course, the exit as well as the employee entrance up here. And then I'll just do a short visual outside so I'm not wasting people's time because there's not a lot of new stuff outside. I was kind of hoping that these windows would be in so I could show you that this week, but maybe next week we'll be able to show that. And then hopefully, of course, maybe next week we'll have some drywall up and some more new things on the interior. But I'll keep it short for this week. Thanks for joining us. All right, hey guys, it is Sunday, August 6th. I thought I would try something a little bit different today and start from the actual entrance, the main entrance of the hospital, and walk through that way so you can kind of get a feel for things. So right now, I'm kind of backed up against what would be the front door or the main entrance, and I'm standing in the vestibule. And so basically, this whole area in here is an enclosed vestibule. There'll be a wall up here, so basically this will help with airflow and a double barrier for the pets. And then as I enter, the main reception area is over to the right here. I think these cones are where the kiosk stations are going. So we just have conduit run for power and everything like that, so that the cones are just going to be like floor boxes for things like that. I believe the cat waiting area is here, and then there'll be a divider and then the dog waiting area, in case people have to wait, is going to be over on this side. All the windows are in except for all the windows facing the parking lot, as well as the entrance doors facing the parking lot. So yeah, so we're still in reception. So basically, as I'm welcomed inside and my pet goes to an exam room, we'll be going over to this side here. This is the first exam room. And of course, we've been through here before. Down this hallway to the right are the main exam rooms. Not a whole lot of new stuff in the exam rooms, except if we look above and see they've made a lot of progress with the ductwork. So this was one thing we kind of fell behind on, but they made a lot of progress this week with the ductwork. So as we look above throughout the hospital, there's a lot of progress there. But besides that, exam room's not a whole lot of new stuff this week. If I need to go into the treatment area, like say my pet's over here, and we need to bring it into treatment for something, we can go through this door here. And so those metal panels that I didn't know what they were last week, those actually go to the islands. So basically they've got these fabricated in for the islands. Of course, we'll be able to have the ceiling mounted lights and swing arms. And as we mentioned last week, there's 2 islands that are built to hold 3 tables each. We're just going to build out 2 tables each to begin with. And sterilization right back in here. And then the surgery suite, which we showed last week, is here. And then I don't think the ductwork was in last week in the surgery suite, but there it is. The only one issue from this week was that we were going to have 9-foot or 9.5-foot ceilings in the reception area, but the way the ductwork's run and had to be configured in there, we won't be able to do the full 9 feet and 6 inches. So we're trying to figure out what the actual ceiling height will be in there once everything's done. Back into treatment. So dog runs over there. Can't really tell much with all the framing. The cat area, and back into the lab pharmacy area back here. And if we want, we can actually either go back up front, we can go back to where we came from, or we can go back here towards like the rear hallway. And they had to redo the suite plates this week because they'd actually glued them in place, which means that if they got broken or something, we wouldn't be able to fix them. So they had to take all those out and then make it so they're not glued in place. So along this side, really not a whole lot to see because the blocking was done last week, electrical was run last week. I don't think there's many developments on the tech station here. So most of the updates were basically to the ductwork. As you can see, everything is in up there. It's not all completed yet, but we're close. And then of course the treatment area with the islands was one of the main updates this week. They haven't started running the Ethernet cable or anything yet. I believe they're supposed to start doing that tomorrow, which is Monday. And we'll do a quick walk outside. Not a whole lot to show out here, so I'll try and walk quickly, because pretty much everything was done that we're going to look at last week. We do have like a downspout for all the water coming off the roof. There's one here and there's one closer to Granby Street, and this kind of delineates like the main entrance of the hospital. I'll kind of zoom out here to the employee entrance. We'll probably have some type of artwork design up there once things get going. And then just some finishing work with the sheet metal to prepare for the canopy. I'm not sure when the canopy is going to be installed. I know everything's been ordered. I don't think we actually have parts on site yet. And then not a whole lot new going along Granby Street here. It's gonna be the same as last week. We did meet with the city last week because they've got a large initiative for what they're calling Riverview, well, what is called Riverview, of course, and then the 35th Street business corridors. So we're kind of like at the corner of both of those, because Riverview is basically down that way on Granby Street, and then the 35th
Street Business District is down that way. So we're kind of at the corner of those two. The city's really focusing on those two specific business districts to kind of have some growth there, and so we're talking to them and looking into some options for like signage and just the facade outside of the hospital, as well as like landscaping planners, things like that. And so we're just going to pan back around here, and so basically that is this week's update, and hopefully we've got some exciting developments to show next week. Thank you.